Chainlink to $1,000. Why do people think this? Is it true though? So welcome to the channel. No green screen. Hello SpongeBob. Now, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe, hit the bell button, like and comment. The green screen was doing my tits in, so I got rid of it because, well, it is still there, but lighting in the UK, not great, and can't be bothered with it anymore. So, ignore the messy background, but clickbait. Sorry, there is a little bit of clickbait in this. I do obviously, you know, try and be realistic. If I'm going to talk about what people have been talking about, as you can see by this image of people on YouTube saying $10,000, imagine that, $1,000 for Chainlink, we're going to try and debunk it a little bit and demyth it. And is it realistic? Is it actually going to happen? Let's talk about it, because it could happen. Possibility everywhere, in any price form, in any sort of speculative asset to go up to any value. But I want to make one thing very, very clear. If Chainlink goes to $10,000, $1,500, whatever, it will bring the market up. Not, you know, you got to be realistic here. Chainlink will not just go to heaven heights and Ethereum will stay the same, or Bitcoin will stay the same, or Cardano will stay the same. Everything will go up. So let's talk about how you can get from this overall if you're not holding Chainlink. Now, I do not own any Chainlink. Previous video, you can check that one out. I revealed my altcoin portfolio. I've often said as well, I'm not really that turned on by Chainlink. It's like, yeah, cool, happy days. But for me, it's just like, you know, it doesn't really fill me with that much confidence in terms of like, I want to physically buy this. I think there is more multiples elsewhere that I can jump on and jump out of. But Chainlink gets a lot of the press, a lot of the prestige because it is going up and up. But gotta think, it's not moved as high or as much in terms of like percentage gains compared to some of the other projects in 2020. It just gets a limelight because it's gone up from like $3 up to $9. But there's some coins that have gone up from like 2 cents up to like 25 cents. There's a much difference in terms of spectrum of gains there. So you got to look at where things are going. It's kind of interesting. It is obviously exciting for altcoins too. But let's talk about some wild predictions. Now this, obviously, you know, one of my series that does very, very well, like, you know, I like to try and keep people grounded. I get a lot of respect from people about keeping people grounded. A lot of people's first introduction to cryptocurrency, and I want to make this very clear, is price predictions. I'm going to invest in that. It's relatively easy to do that. I don't have to do much to get an account. I can put my money into, say, Chainlink, and people are left, right, center on Reddit, on Telegram, on YouTube going, it's going to go to $10,000, it's going to go to $1,000, it's going to go to $500, you know? And you're like, ooh, and then it doesn't. And then, yeah. But these are the people that tend to buy at the highs, and they're buying at $9, for example, here. So let's just debunk it a little bit. Personal opinion, I think this will do well. I think this will do well. There's a lot of hype, but that is a big word, hype. It's a small word, but it's a big word. Make sense? Hype is a big thing. Remember OneChain? OneChain came out in what, 2018. Did really, really well. It went up to these price levels. Yeah, the hype died. What if, put it out there, if the hype dies on Chainlink and something else takes a mantle and something else grows, or we have another bearish market where we go from 11, 12K Bitcoin levels back down again? What happened to Chainlink? That is what we need to test. If we've not had that period yet, we've not had that physical period where it's absolutely just died with the market. It's had the COVID crash, it recovered, so did everything else. That is a big, important learning point. However, what happens in the next 2 years? If Bitcoin does a bit of a regression, it could happen. I'm not saying it won't happen. What will Chainlink do? What will happen if people take profits and jump somewhere else, or they just stay in a stable currency for a while and chill out? That's what we need to find out. So, wallet investor, we're going to go to the 5-year one because everything else has been smashed through, obviously. 5 years, $17. Cool, happy days. Right, we've obviously got trading bases. Obviously, they're very pessimistic. I kind of give up with these lot.
About $5 in 2023. Cool. Crypto ground. Unbelievable. That's gloomy. I'm not even going to read that. Oh, great. Well done. You've done well there with your price prediction. Dear me. Not looked at any fundamental analysis there at all. For me, you know, fundamentals are obviously key. There's one big sticky point with Chainlink, which I want to highlight in a second. Why I kind of like a bit iffy about it. That's just my personal opinion, by the way. Digital coin price. Now this is a bit interesting. Obviously, well, they're expecting up to $30, which is only a 3x from here, when you consider it. And in terms of when this article was written, by the way, it's not the oldest article in the world. This is the 16th of July, sorry, when that was like 2 weeks ago. So it was already at high levels when these were obviously published. I'm not sure when these were published, but it's kind of interesting to see where different companies, different analysis kind of make do with their predictions. And obviously predictions are a bit wishy-washy. That's why I like to talk about them. I like to try and debunk them a little bit to try and give some people a bit of clarity. But gov.capital, not to be linked with Zeus Capital, wankers, could be $44 in 2024, up to $60 give or take in 2025, which in my opinion, yeah, you know, like I don't see any qualms with any of these predictions as it stands. Moving on into crypto rating, they're expecting gains up to $190 in 2025. And then obviously we've got some other random wishy-washy ones of like weirdness, which I'm not going to go into. But I want to talk about this because when you put in the likes of Chainlink price predictions, you always get YouTubers that talk about insanely overpriced things. Now, that's just a mechanism to get views, I'm afraid. I've just kind of put the cat out. Cat bag gone. There we go. Cat out the bag. Pigeon. Cat amongst the pigeons. There we go. Words are out. So I want to talk about this because my titles are very, very leading to you to come and view my videos. But I talk about the subject a lot. The problem is these price predictions, they're 10 a penny. I've made price predictions that have been totally wrong. Everyone has. But a lot of these are just put out on the internet and they're expected to fetch new people into the space. How many people would buy into an asset like Chainlink on the preset that a YouTuber said it is going to go up to this price? It could, but it also may completely fail. And if you have bought that at the wrong price, it's an expensive lesson to learn. And I want to make that very, very clear. And that's just why learning is important and understanding where fair value of any asset is. I'm going to go on to the chart in a second, but there is some bullish predictions of up to 2K, up to 10K, up to $1,000 on Chainlink, which is absolutely fine. No qualms about those. But I want to make things very, very clear on this video series. I like to debunk them a little bit to make you money, to save you money, to be, you know, that voice inside your head thinking, hold on a minute, where's the risk reward or risk of return or whatever, return of investment as well. It's like Bitcoin. If Bitcoin, say, you know, let's just imagine here, it's $10,000. Let's just imagine though, it's been $10,000 for about 6 months, but you want to then buy when Bitcoin is $60,000. Do you not think you're jumping the gun a little bit? But the hype is there. It's already overstretched, but you think it's going to go up to 100K. Well, you're only going to gain a little percentage of that if that happens. It's not worth it. You got to think, is it worth my while? With Chainlink at these all-time high levels, you've got to do a little second guess and question, what if the market turns around? What if you lose a lot of money? That is a problem. So let's talk about the chart briefly. Now, I want to go over this briefly because there's a humongous RSI divergence there. Like, it's fucking massive, right? You cannot, it's like a donkey's dick hanging out. It's huge. You cannot unsee it. I'm looking at it now thinking that's disgusting because people are going to FOMO into this because they're seeing that as a high, whereas I'm seeing momentum coming down. Just be careful. This is not the place to buy. The place to buy was here. Not here, boys and girls. Right, so let me just talk about this first. When you see the RSI going downwards like that, and it has closed, it is fully legit, that is the top and bottom of it. When you look at this and you see price action going up, it is a bearish divergence. That indicator tells us momentum, strength. Simple, the strength of the momentum.
Where's it going? Well, actually, we formed a nice little lower high, but on the price, we formed a higher high. Problem. Why is it a problem? It would indicate there's a possible top there. Now, $10 psychological level, a new sky limit, all-time highs, blue sky breakout. It's on a price discovery mission, essentially. It's looking to find its claws to put it on. Basically, that's as simple as it goes, if you want to describe it in that way. So, what does this mean for us as an investor? There's a potential opportunity coming up. But what I will say is this. Be careful of the crypto market. Why? We've seen stuff like this all the time. We've seen coins do incredibly well in a short period of time. Look at the DeFi coins. They've done incredibly well. Look at the likes of majority of those doing 800, 900, 1,000% in a matter of like, what, 3 months? Well, actually, Chainlink, if you look at the data, in the last year to date, 318%, 440% year to date. Well, that's 1 year, sorry, year to date. That's the one you want. But you can see here, yeah, it's done well. It's done well. But is the hype warranted? It looks good. It's all-time highs. It's doing well. For this to really go now from $10 up to $100, it's going to do 10x. It's quite a big move. That's quite a big move. You then got to think, well, to go to $1,000, it's literally like 100x. Is it possible from this point? Is it a good investment? I think it's a good investment if the whole market is bullish. The whole market is not bullish right now. It's a bit sketchy. We're not sure. Bitcoin is at a pretty high rate. We're at, what, 11,300 resistance level? Cool, happy days. But for this to really go, the whole market has to go. And the altcoins aren't really moving yet. Look at the total 2 chart. Total 2 chart, it's added to the bag, but it's not these levels. It's not these, well, there. It's not up here. So we've got a lot of room to grow. A lot of room to grow. The dominance chart is predominantly at a support level, but it's starting to bounce back up a little bit. So when I talk about realistic predictions, if this dominance goes up and that total 2 chart goes down, your chain link's going to drop like fuck. Simple as that. It's going to drop like, it's going to literally fall to the bottom of the sea. A bit like SpongeBob here. It's going to fall. But the big problem with that is people will be looking at that and going, oh, Chainlink, amazing, happy days. And then all of a sudden, you've got an investor who is not very happy. They're not very happy because they've bought into an asset that is overpriced, overbought, and things are getting a bit sketchy. Fair price for a pullback. You've obviously got this level here. This literally, you could probably argue that is a nice little supply zone where these wicks are. Between $7 and $6.50. Simple as that, in my opinion. But when you start looking at, fuck off. Go away, alert. I don't want you. Yeah. Bye. So when you start looking at Fibonacci on, let's just say from this round bottom here up to this top level, it's within that zone of interest. So if you're thinking, I rate this a lot, I think this is going to do incredibly well. Look at the $6 level, give or take $6.80 between and $6 if you want to get in. What I would suggest as a top Brucey tip, don't put all your money in at that point. If that drops even lower, you've got this level right in here. You've also got this level. You know, people laugh at me and go, they're never going to happen. But when you look back in time and you look at likes of Bitcoin, you look at Ethereum, you look at Cardano, you look at VeChain, you look at all these big assets that have had hype, have had development, have had prestige of a massive run and made multiple X's on their money, they always go back down. That's the thing. Market cycles are key. So, my opinion, right? I think Chainlink will do very well in the future. There's one reserve point though that I've not told you yet that I don't like. I think the team hold too many tokens. That's why I do not actually, you know, I've never pulled the trigger. I obviously didn't expect it to do as well as it has. But let me just put you this point and this thought. I will buy this if it goes low enough, because I've seen the potential. But I will only put profit into it, and I will only buy it when it's low. If it goes off from here and fucks off, I don't care. It's gone. Happy days. Congratulations, Link holders. Well done. You've found a good asset. But for me, it's all about choice, about mindset of investing and knowing what to invest in and what I'm comfortable in. I might not be comfortable in this if I know that the team still holds 75% of the tokens, which is kind of the big drawdown on this. There's a lot of tokens in reserve used for different things. That could be used against the persons, the investors. We don't know. It's happened before in crypto. It might not happen here, but it's happened before. You've always got to remember that. So always buy low. Always buy with funds you can afford to lose. And be realistic in your profit taking. Remember, secure the bag at the end of the day. If you buy, say, $6 and it goes up to like $18, for example, 3 times your money. If you're not taking a small sliver of that out, or even just a small little bit, just to just remove some of that risk, go for it. If it goes up to $100 from that point, happy days. You've still got most of it in. Winner. Bitcoin's going on a bit of a tear. It's pulling altcoins down right now, but we'll see what happens. But for me, wild predictions, I say this $100 easily in a bull run. Easily. But that doesn't mean you FOMO into it. That means you wait for this diversion to play out. You wait for the market cycle to change. Because I think, going back to Bitcoin very, very briefly, I think this isn't ready for that pop move. Personal opinion or financial advice. We need more buyers. We need more interest. If the stock market crumbles, if there's another second wave of COVID, if the demand is dropped because there's no tether prints, you may see a bit of a retracement. If that happens, you're going to see Chainlink drop as well.